The noise about BTS's secret studio did not subside either. Whispers about leaked recording sessions are getting louder, especially after rumors of a new subunit involving Jimin, V, and Jungkook emerged. Of the many conversations, there's one narrative that keeps getting stronger. Jimin is called the soul of the project, the part that makes the music feel whole. On social media, especially X and TikTok, footage is circulating that is claimed to be taken from the recording room. In the video, Jimin appears to be standing quietly between V and Jungkook. The expression is simple, no exaggeration, just focus. But for fans, that silence speaks louder than words. Without her, the room is empty. One fan wrote. Another added, Jimin isn't just singing. She brings emotion throughout the song. Without it, nothing will be complete. This conversation sparked a return to an old interview, when a producer praised Jimin's ability to translate raw emotion into melody. The producer referred to him as a member who bridges BTS's individual timbres into one harmony. Thus, Jimin's presence in the subunit that is reportedly being prepared feels not accidental, but a deliberate decision. He is the glue, the counterweight, the emotional anchor. The fan theory spins fast. Some believe the project was originally just for Jungkook and V, but HYB allegedly asked Jimin to join in order to maintain the dynamic. There are also those who quote Bang Si-hyuk's words, although they have not been verified. If Jimin does not exist, harmony will collapse. The quote, true or not, has been shared thousands of times, further reinforcing Jimin's image as an irreplaceable figure. The hashtag without Jimin also became a global trend. Fans, on the one hand, celebrated his role as the heart of BTS. But on the other hand, there is a worry. If Jimin is too positioned as the main figure, does it mean that the others are starting to be left out? Or furthermore, can BTS only function when Jimin is around? This discussion extends beyond Korea. On American music forums, Jimin has been described as BTS's emotional compass, someone who knows how to direct the tension within the group and turn it into art. One British journalist even compared it to a string section in an orchestra. Subtle but so absent, emptiness is immediately felt. European fans recalled that BTS's most emotional ballads, from Lie to Promise, often rested on Jimin's voice. The tone is like a sense of being left behind. That's why it's hard to imagine a BTS song without him, wrote one of ARMY on Exit from Latin America. Another theory emerged that linked the leaked footage to Jimin's body language when he was with Jungkook and Taehyung at an event. You can see the dynamics shifting, wrote one Brazilian ARMY man. But Jimin is the thread that keeps the two ends tied together. He's not just standing in the middle physically, but emotionally as well. This speculation deepened when a French magazine wrote that HYBE deliberately highlighted Jimin in this era. According to their analysis, Jimin's presence is not just about vocal stability, but keeping BTS's narrative intact. It is positioned as a reminder that this group has an identity that cannot be broken, even in times of transition. For some fans, this theory seemed plausible and at the same time a relief, an official recognition of Jimin's art. But for others, it is precisely anxiety that arises. Too much emotional burden will fall on his shoulders. It's not fair to put the whole group on his shoulders, wrote one Canadian fan. But maybe that's exactly what makes people admire him. Somehow, he always endures it gracefully. Speculation doesn't stop at the studio or body language. ARMY is now hunting for possible song lyrics that reportedly talk about distance, reunions, and unspoken bonds. Many believe Jimin's part will touch on healing someone who has been away. Some directly linked him to Jungkook, who was later seen alone in Los Angeles, while Jimin spent more time with Taehyung. What if Jimin sings to Jungkook, telling him that even though it feels far away, someone still wants to take him home? The speculation is widespread in X. Other fan groups interpret differently. They suspect the V section in the song could be a way of expressing long-held emotions. According to them, this is in tune with his moments of togetherness with Jimin that look increasingly warm, in contrast to the cold interactions that some fans observe between Jungkook and Jimin at certain events. It feels like this song is Jimin and Taehyung opening the door, while Jungkook is still standing outside, one Korean ARMY member wrote. But there are those who reject it outright. They judged Jimin's presence not a matter of division, but of balance. He is described as a mediator, bridging Taehyung's introspection with Jungkook's burning passion. That's why people call it the soul, wrote one Filipino soldier. Because without his part, the trio's story feels incomplete. Interestingly, some fans even see this song as a message to the army. If the lyrics are about someone standing in the middle and keeping two worlds together, then it could be interpreted as a symbol of Jimin keeping BTS as well as the fan base going through the most fragile of times. Maybe it's about all of us, wrote one American army man, about how Jimin keeps the bond alive, whatever the distance. Anticipation is now mounting. Speculation, fan-made lyric translations, and emotional theories flood the timeline every day. Some are crying, some are angry. Some believe HYBE deliberately planted this leak to heat up the fandom before the official comeback. Hashtags like Jimin the Soul and Hidden Message for JK became trending within hours, filled with long threads trying to unravel the meaning behind each Jimin expression. Even just imagining Jimin singing to Jungkook, I was already crying, one army member wrote. If this is true, it's like watching their friendship heal before your eyes. The post was flooded with thousands of likes, replying with videos of Jimin and Jungkook's old memories of their trainee days. And behind all that, one belief is already forming in the hearts of fans around the world. When this song is finally released, it will be Jimin's voice that will become the most emotional line, the line that breaks millions of hearts. Because in the end, for the army, one thing was clear. Without Jimin, BTS would never be complete. But the more this speculation flows, the clearer it is that Jimin's figure has gone beyond the role of just a vocalist or performer. He is now seen as a symbol of BTS balance, even by fans who previously leaned more towards the other members. Some Korean music analysts write that Jimin's uniqueness is not only in the soft vocal color, but in the way he conveys the feeling behind each verse. She is not a singer who tries to rule the stage with a shout, wrote one critic, but with an honesty that makes the listener feel seen and heard. That effect was also noticeable on the international fan base. In Japan, local media highlighted how Jimin's name is always on the list of the most sought-after K-pop artists every time BTS releases emotional music. While in Thailand, fans call it a little heart-warming, because every appearance gives a sense of comfort. Even in Indonesia, discussions about Jimin's role in the subunit project dominated online forums, with many fans asserting that his presence was a meeting point amid differences in V and Jungkook's vocal styles. What makes this situation even more interesting is how HYBE appears to be letting the discussion continue to develop without providing any official confirmation. There is no clarification on whether there really was a subunit or just a regular recording session. The silence of the agency only magnifies the imagination of fans. Some believe HYBE deliberately delayed the announcement to make the public more curious, while others think the strategy could be risky because it adds to the burden of expectations on Jimin. Meanwhile, the real interactions between Jimin, V, and Jungkook also continue to be closely monitored. A candid photo from one of the cafes in Seoul that shows the three of them sitting together had made a stormy timeline. In the picture, Jimin sits in the middle exactly as the narrative has been built by fans, as a link between two different worlds. Comments also appeared, from those who were just joking to those who were full of emotion. He was always in the middle, literally as well as emotionally, one user wrote. This excessive attention, of course, has a psychological impact. Some senior fans cautioned other ARMY not to put the group's entire hopes on one man's shoulders. Jimin himself has admitted on several occasions that he is also an ordinary human being, with doubts, fears, and pressures. But precisely because of that vulnerability, many feel closer to him. There is a sense of humanity that makes Jimin different from the image of a pop star in general. Now, with the news of the comeback getting closer, this discussion is no longer limited to music. It turned into a debate about identity, leadership, and how BTS remained intact after going through a military transition. For some people, the answer to all of that can be found in the figure of Jimin. He is considered a mirror of emotions that not only glue the members of the group, but also maintain relationships with millions of fans around the world.